Ever wondered how Brexit continues to shape lives, even years after it officially happened? Well, if you're German and considering a quick jaunt across the channel to the UK, you might want to sit down for this one. Today, we're diving into how the UK's new visa rules aren't just bureaucratic headaches, they are impacting thousands of Europeans, including many Germans here. So grab your passport and brace yourself, because visiting Britain just got a lot more complicated. Just this week, the British government unveiled its immigration white paper, announcing sweeping changes to its immigration policies. Prime Minister Keir Starmer proudly proclaimed that living in Britain is a privilege that needs to be earned. Translation: the UK's doors are now closing tighter than ever before. So, what exactly are these new rules and why are they causing such an uproar? Let's just break it down. Firstly, every EU traveller to Britain will now need an electronic travel authorization. We talked about that. Gone are the days when you could hop onto a plane, flash your passport at border control, and stroll right into London. Now you'll need digital approval before you even set foot on British soil. Tourists, airlines and hotel operators are understandably alarmed, and this extra step not only complicates holiday plans, but also threatens to hurt tourism, one of Britain's crucial economic sectors. But wait, it gets even trickier. The care worker visa, introduced specifically to address Britain's severe healthcare staffing shortages, is set to be scrapped entirely. That's right, despite the chronic need for care workers, this lifeline is being cut. Instead, the central route for foreign workers, the skilled worker visa, is undergoing a dramatic tightening. Applicants will now generally need a university degree to qualify. For occupations not traditionally requiring higher education, residence permits will become strictly time-limited. Essentially, the UK government wants employers to prioritize hiring and training British workers, putting significant pressure on sectors heavily reliant on EU staff. Additionally, the path to becoming a British citizen is becoming significantly longer and tougher. Previously, you could apply after 5 years, but now the waiting period is doubling to 10 years. Unless, that is, you can prove a significant contribution to British society and the economy. Professions like nurses, doctors, engineers and specialists in artificial intelligence will have a somewhat smoother ride. For everyone else, better buckle up, it's going to be a long haul. And let's not overlook language skills. Higher standards for English proficiency are now mandatory, raising another hurdle for potential migrants. While promoting language proficiency makes sense, critics argue this move disproportionately affects people from EU countries who might have previously been less stringent about their English fluency. And now, why is all this happening? Starmer's government points directly to soaring immigration figures since Brexit as justification. Despite earlier promises of controlled borders, net migration hit an eye-watering 728,000 in 2024 alone. Ironically, Brexit was partly sold as a way to curb immigration, yet numbers surged post-Brexit, driven largely by non-EU migrants. But in an attempt to regain control, the government is cracking down universally, and EU citizens, including Germans, are caught in the crossfire. These changes represent the end of Britain's failed experiment with open borders, according to Starmer. Critics, however, argue these measures are overly harsh and could damage Britain's economy and international reputation. Young people, students and exchange participants from Germany and other EU nations will find it especially challenging to enter and stay in Britain. Suddenly, a simple Erasmus semester or an internship in London looks far less appealing, although they are not part of Erasmus anymore, I know. And meanwhile, diplomatic efforts are ongoing. At the current summit, they will discuss potential compromises and improvements in mutual travel freedoms. When I film this, there is no result yet. But both sides seek closer cooperation in several areas, including trade and defense. However, any full return to pre-Brexit freedoms remains off the table. But how are these rules specifically impacting Germans? I know I have a lot of German viewers here. Historically, the UK has been an attractive destination for German students, professionals and tourists. I worked there as well for a couple of years. And Germany and the UK share deep economic and cultural ties, making this visa clampdown particularly significant. And students hoping to study at renowned British universities now face increased uncertainty and bureaucracy. Professionals considering career moves must navigate stricter qualifications and limited visa durations. And even short tourist trips require additional planning and permissions. And tourism experts are particularly worried. With German tourists constituting a significant part of the UK tourism market, extra visa hurdles might push travelers towards simpler destinations. And airlines already battling operational challenges see this as yet another complication, likely increasing costs and potentially reducing passenger numbers. Hoteliers fear losing vital business if travel becomes too cumbersome, and the implications go beyond mere inconvenience. Reduced cultural exchange, fewer students enrolling at British universities, as they already are, and potential workforce shortages pose real threats to Britain's international standing. And Germany, a major European economy and historically close ally after the Second World War, now faces tangible barriers to engagement with Britain. Supporters of the stricter rules argue Britain must regain control of its immigration system and prioritize domestic workers. Yet critics highlight potential economic damage and warn these policies could deepen isolation post-Brexit. Is Britain safeguarding its borders or harming its long-term interests? Ultimately, these visa changes underline a core Brexit paradox. Brexit promised greater autonomy and tighter immigration control, yet implementing these promises has led to unintended negative consequences, including strained relationships with European partners. But will these policies endure, or will mounting pressure force adjustments? And how will Germany and others respond diplomatically and economically? Will Britain's attractiveness as a destination for work, study and tourism suffer lasting damage? These are critical questions we'll closely monitor. And here at Outside Views, we'll continue bringing you a clear, in-depth analysis on how these complex policies unfold and their real-world impacts. And if you found this breakdown insightful, please like, subscribe and hit that bell icon for more updates and engaging context. Thanks for tuning in today, and see you in the next video, which you'll find here in the end screen. And if you want to support my work overall, there's another video here in the end screen for my newest channel, Zootastic. So if you like animal videos, then have a look there, and I'm looking forward to your support for Zootastic. I'll see you there. I'll be back.